Howdy, all of you delicious people. I'm here today to just show off more of my comic book collection. It's been quite a few days since last doing it, and this specific box is to just be a long box that I did in a other prior video, and I got half of it done, so I wanted to get the other half so I can finally store this bad boy and put it away. So hence why I'm not kind of perfectly planning this one. This one is just like, I need to get this done. So that's why I'm putting this one together. So in this certain collection, from thumbing through, it looks like it's mostly Iron Man, but then it's also characters like early Nova. It looks like, and there's some Penance there, and there's some Marvel team up, and there is just some titles that have the word, I think, Marvel in it, from kind of what I just skimmed through. So for those of you who are just kind of more Marvel in general fans, like, there's going to be more than just Iron Man in this video here. But anyways, like, I just wanted to get this done. So thank you for watching either way. I really do appreciate it. So let's get into this. So I'm gonna try as much as possible to keep my like banner to a minimum, because I know I tend to probably repeat things or whatever. So I'm gonna try to um, just show you the comics and then kind of read the dialogue that is on them, so you guys can know what the dialogue says if you can't read it yourself. So this is to be giant-sized Iron Man issue number 1, and it seems that we have Iron Man facing off against Angel from the X-Men, it looks like. But it also, we see in the very distance there, we see the Captain America shield. So in the dialogue, it says an annual collection of Shellhead's greatest guest stars: the Golden Avenger versus the Angel, Hawkeye, and Captain America. Oh, okay. All right. So, yeah, like, I know that giant-sized issues could just be reprints or could just be whatever, but uh, really, I go on and I like to get the giant-sized stuff as well as also just the regular issues, just to mix things up, just to be just to. But also, I tend to just want to collect again the number ones and just kind of find some interesting titles, because I liked that Angel was facing off against Iron Man in that issue. So I just, like, I saw it, I had to grab it. So we now have another Marvel Milestone edition here. So this is basically a reprinted copy, and I think this is an early issue of Drax the Destroyer, but this is to be Drax that doesn't look how he normally looks in, like, Guardians of the Galaxy. He's a different Drax the Destroyer than you're used to seeing him in the background. I think this is why I ended up getting this issue, because it's the first ever appearance, I think, maybe, of Drax the Destroyer. So that's why I got it. Eventually, Drax would go on and be killed off, and then eventually you would just see him consistently change the way he looks from books to books. And so, and I'll read the dialogue here. So, this is Invincible Iron Man number 55, and we find in the book that it says the Golden Avenger battles the Titans of Saturn and learns to beware the Blood Brothers. So the two men here are to be the Blood Brothers. And the kind of the bubbles that are on the top here, I'll read those. Monsters, I've tracked you across galaxies from this moment. Even if you crush Iron Man, you can't stop the Destroyer. Alright. Let's get into the next one. The next one is to be the Invincible Iron Man number 100. I had found this issue in a comic book store, and the issues were a little bit more pricey. I think this one was maybe like $10. Because I think at the same comic book shop, I had found a She-Hulk #1. I think there's like a #1 and also #100, and they were kind of like in the $10 range. And so I got it just because I liked these characters. Like, this was a unique book. And so this is why I got this. And also, like, this just looks like a very interesting, unique, just cover that I did just gravitate to. And I was like, I just got to get this. So a lot of people would say that I probably overpaid, and I can understand that, but it was just interesting to me. Like, and plus also, I don't think I really got much from that comic book store for how pricey they were, anyways. So like, I kind of really picked and choose what I was getting. The Invincible Iron, well, it wasn't all like $10. Some of them were a lot cheaper, but anyways. The Invincible Iron Man #103. So I got this specific book just because of Jack of Hearts. When finding out this character's origins, where he was to have a mother and father, that one of them was an alien and one of them was a human, and so the guy ends up, like, the reason why he has kind of like a half human face and half alien one is because of his parents, and that alien having this thing where like their half of their body ends up turning to this color. So in turn, Jack does the same and then has this power. So yeah, so after going on and finding out about Jack of Hearts, I just found him so interesting, even though also he's kind of like a copycat of Gambit. So that's why I kind of like Jack of Hearts. He was really interesting to me. Oh, I forgot to almost read the dialogue. My apologies. Thunder over Long Island. Iron Man takes on the Jack of Hearts and the merciless minions of Midas. Don't remember Midas that well. But yeah, so more than likely, I don't know if I did get the Jack of Hearts book, because I think there was like a Jack of Hearts comic book that I think I did get #1 of, but I'm trying to think if I did actually get it or not. Because there's some stuff that I did try to buy, and then I just kind of stopped collecting comic books at some point. So like, a lot of stuff just kind of got lost. But if anything, I did collect characters like the Ray, though, and I kind of felt like the Ray from DC comic books was kind of similar to Jack of Hearts in a way. But anyways, the Invincible Iron Man #123. And when he dies, nobody knows. The Melter, the Blizzard, Whiplash, together again, the Armored Avenger. So I absolutely love covers like this. Like, I'm not a gambling man, I'm not a card guy, but like, an issue like this is like, I just need to have it. It's so visually interesting, and yeah, it's a must kind of cover. I don't know why I'm so fascinated by stuff like this, but yeah, it's just, I feel that it's like, I feel like covers like that are just so they pop more. They're just more interesting than just having just a cover that feels like a good guy fighting a bad guy, and it feels like that probably should have just been a panel in the comic book, but they just thrusted it on as a cover. Anyways, the Invincible Iron Man #3. So we have Iron Man, and it seems that he is to be kind of set in all of these. He's kind of like fallen down, and he's fallen on top of, and you can't really see because of the plastic here, it looks like there's a number of robotic things that he is kind of fallen all over of. Um, yeah. Uh, I also wanted to collect that cover just because of the helmet, because the helmet looked unique to me. Even though I'm sure this specific Iron Man thing was to go on and kind of just be like, really, this one you collected? The Invincible Iron Man #6, uh, tearing it up with the Black Widow. Yeah, man, like I know that, yeah, like looking at these specific books, like really, like man, these look really cheap, and they probably were cheap. That's probably why I got them. But I don't know, there was just like something about these that just like I don't know. I think at the time I just made a poor choice, but yeah, like I saw them. I think probably at a half price book somewhere. That's probably where I got these. So and again, it was at a time where hey, like if Iron Man was on it, like and it was an early issue, like I just gravitated to it. We have a Marvel Comics Iron Man #43, but it also says 388 at the bottom, so not quite sure exactly. Uh, but if anything, this comic book also is pretty crazy looking. That's why I got it. So we have a man in an armor suit, but there's bombs attached to him. Like the bombs are right there. And so I was like, what is this cover? What is this book? Like, I had to get it because I'm like, I have no idea what this is. Yeah, like, this was like wild. I like, yeah, this, yeah, definitely a unique cover. Because also there's quite a bit of just Iron Man covers where like they were goofy or unique or weird, and I just yeah, it was just I like yeah, I have to get this. Iron Man, Director of Shield. This is issue #22. We have Iron Man, almost kind of like in the Iron Man 2 movie suit, but of course we realize that this is like an extremist suit, and he's holding the American flag. Yeah, so kind of just an interesting cover there. And I wanted to get something from the director of Shield book, and that was just it. We have the Invincible Iron Man, Stark Disassembled, 4/5. So this is kind of like a small, kind of short run. I think this is all I found of this, and I just thought it was interesting. Like, the cover is just basically like the slimmest of slim, but like I just thought it was kind of unique. So, as well as also like Tony being in the Iron Man's like I don't know, it's just creative. It's creative. We have the Invincible Iron Man #1. This is actually a really cool but simple looking cover. So and also it was just a #1. It says on the top there Marvel PSR instead of the number, which is weird. And this is to be Extremis Part 1 of 6. Come to find out, there actually is a motion comic of this, and I had watched that. And Extremis is a really interesting just motion comic, but I was to go on and just like because eventually because of Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 had Extremis, so I had to figure out what that was. I found out that I already had the Iron Man like motion comic that was talking about this, so I just watched that. motion comic, and I was like, oh man, like yeah, this is really cool to see uh, the comic book version of it, probably over eventually what even Iron Man 3 was. Uh, Not much of flack of that, but it's true. I just. So this is to be the Invincible Iron Man, the Best Defense Part 4. There's obviously a reason why I chose this, because Iron Man is doing the hero pose. This is the issue, I believe, number 76, but it also says 421. So yeah, he's doing the hero pose. He's doing the same thing that he did in Iron Man 3, where he slams down his arm, and yeah, they end up calling it the hero pose. Or the hero's landing. My bad, Deadpool fans. It's the hero's landing, you got it wrong. Whatever. Let me get a little bit closer. Alright. Again, there's still a lot of Iron Man in here. So, of course, we have the Invincible Iron Man #1, and of course, I picked this up because of the Iron Man movie. Yeah, of course, a sucker. But still. The Invincible Iron Man #1 annual, and this is to have Iron Man in the Mandarin. Had to get this because eventually when Iron Man 3 came out, I was like, okay, I need to know a little bit more about the Mandarin. So beyond, like, I had seen also the Iron Man cartoon, and eventually when seeing the Iron Man cartoon, the early one, because I know there's other Iron Man comic book or cartoons that I did go on and see, but I saw the earliest one, the one that I think was done in like the 80s or 90s or whatever. I'm not sure exactly when it came out, so you guys can correct me in the comments. And then Mandarin was involved in the pilot of that. I'm like, ooh, that's nice, because we find out that Iron Man is kind of stuck, needing to do something for the Mandarin, and instead, Tony goes on and makes the Iron Man suit and eventually escapes. But yeah, but I just wanted to go on and get a comic book with the Mandarin, because I wanted to find more things out about the character and about his 10 rings, and but eventually in the movie, like, the character is just a fraud. So that's kind of funny. The all new Iron Man #174. So I got this specific issue because of all of the Iron Man suits are within it. Like, I tried as much as possible to basically just get comic book covers that had just a load of Iron Man suits all over the cover, because that's a thing that I thought was fascinating to me, bizarrely. And again, it's just eye candy, really. It's just a ton of eye candy. So that's just what I decided to try to do. We have the Dark Reign of the Invincible Iron Man #17. And this is to, of course, be very similar to the film. And again, that's why I got it. Of course, you guys remember in the movie where Iron Man ends up crash landing and then leaving all of his armor behind, and then he walks off to eventually find and reunite with Rhodey. So that's why I kind of got this, because it looked similar to the film. We have the Heroic Age, the Invincible Iron Man. This is issue number 27. Because of Iron Man 2, I had gotten this cover. Obviously. Because, yeah, like, this honestly looks so cool. The cover is very basic, but yeah, like, I got suckered, everybody. So, plus, I wanted to know a little bit more about War Machine, So I try to get more books that had War Machine in it. I really wish I could have gone on and gotten books when Frank Castle was War Machine. That would have been a really interesting read. Because I really liked the books when the Punisher was being other characters. I liked when Frank Castle was Cosmic Ghost Rider. I liked when Frank Castle fused with Doctor Strange, because Doctor Strange's soul kind of connected with Punisher's, and then it was like Doctor Punisher or Punisher Strange or something like that. But yeah, but that was like a short-lived thing that actually just looked really cool. And so yeah, hopefully I can figure out whatever that comic book is and then show that to you, because I really did enjoy that story. I don't think I have this story in here somewhere, but I also liked the Damnation story with all the supernatural characters. I really liked that one. The Invincible, I think that one came too late, and I probably just didn't collect comic books at that time, but I really did like that story. The Invincible Iron Man number 31. This is to be a variant edition, and obviously this is another homage cover, so I want to try to show this way. I need to get the light into it more a bit. We have another Demon the Bottle kind of cover, and this is why I got this, obviously. Man, I really like these covers that are just like, that is just so cool to me. Like the people that just rinse and repeat over your iconic, well-known stories, and they just and I know that it's just like, well, yeah, isn't that kind of lazy? But no, not to me. The Indomitable Iron Man issue number 1. Indomitable Iron Man, whatever this is. I thought that title was really unique, and probably no one has ever heard of it, so that's why I got it. I just thought it was so weird. This kind of reminded me of The Rocketeer, and that's why I got this one. Iron Man Enter the Mandarin. This is 1 of 6. So I got this cover because, of course, it reminded me of The Rocketeer, but also it said Enter the Mandarin on it. So many things kind of reminded me of just needing to just pick this thing up. Of why I should do so. So we have Iron Man Enter the Mandarin. This is 3 of 6. So I collected more than just the first issue. Even though it's the third one. This is the Marvel Action Hour Iron Man number 1 as seen on TV. Yeah, so this is how the characters looked in the show that I watched. So hence why I picked this up. Because I'm like, oh yeah, it looks just like the show. So this is the show. So if anybody like, oh yeah, that's the 90s show, or that's this period show, then yeah, correct me in the comments below. But at least I have this thing here. Also, it's kind of cool to have like a cover that had like Spider-Woman in it and Hawkeye and some other characters I was lesser familiar with here. So that's why I took this book. All right, we're getting a little bit of sticking here, so just give me a second. There we go. All right, we're getting to a very classic cover here soon. We have Iron Man number 300 Celebration, 64 pages. And this also is very shiny. It's like a hologram kind of, well, not hologram, but it has kind of much more of a like a shine to it. So I'm trying to just move it around a lot so you can see how shiny it is. So the dialogue reads, Stark leads the Iron Legion against Ultimo, the living Holocaust. That word's kind of ugly. Guest appearance by War Machine. So, all right, that is that's pretty cool. To see it, like, I think what interests me about that issue, none other than it being 300, was just the shine of the cover. So, we finally now have Iron Man number 128, and this is Demon in a Bottle. So this is what started it all. I had read this issue, and most of it is to go on and not be like an action-packed no, like because of course it focuses on Iron Man and his alcohol addiction. So yeah, so it's not going to be some action-packed issue. But I did think it was interesting. I did think it was like a unique piece. So I didn't hate it. Like it was just like, okay, yeah, like I was just kind of fascinated to see this story breakdown. So, anyways, we get an iconic cover that luckily I was able to have gotten. Iron Man number 183. So I got this cover because it was freaking goofy looking. We have Iron Man that is basically bent over on all fours, and there's a guy behind him. It looks freaking weird. That's why I got specifically this cover, for how odd it looks. Now, maybe people probably won't be able to unsee that, but yeah. Just the way that this cover, it just looks so weird. Without the gloves, Iron Man, you are helpless. And Stark ends up saying, "Oh yeah." So weird. So weird. Anyways, we have Iron Man number 191. At last, the return of the original Iron Man. I had to get it. Like this, like the man, these covers are super simplistic, but you really just have to get these things because of like, oh yeah, like it's a clickbaiting mechanism of just like, well, hey, I gotta go on to get this edition where he's in a different suit, or I gotta get this because of just the importance of the story. And yeah, so good thing that those movies did really well, or otherwise I wouldn't have collected so much of Iron Man. Because I didn't know I needed to know more about this character until the movies happened, and like, okay, I need to know everything about this character. So this is to be the issue Iron Man 200, where Iron Man faces off against Ironmonger or Obadiah Stane. So for those of you that, of course, are to know the very first film, this is the issue that covers that. Because it says Obadiah Stane is Ironmonger. This is their final battle. This would be a special double-sided 200 issue featuring the long-awaited clash with the man who stole Stark's International. Tony Stark is Iron Man. No, really? So yeah, so I had to collect this issue. So we have giant size special Iron Man. This is issue 244. I like these split covers. Like, as you can probably see through a number of other things that I've shown probably on this channel. Yeah, I just like these kind of weird split in half things where like in this case, you have the one costume on this side and the other costume on the other. Yeah, I kind of like this idea. I just think it's rather interesting. But I guess also that can just be a very simplistic cover, but still, I just get attracted to it. Iron Man number 248. This is freedom. Question mark on the bottom there. I don't know, like, I guess just all the heads around him, just, I don't know what attracted me to this. I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand why I got this one. I don't know why it appealed to me. Maybe I was just a sucker. This is Iron Man number 262. Again, if you like all those floating heads, we have Armored Wars 2, Iron Man. So, Armored Wars 2. When immediately you slap the word Armor Wars on it, I'm a sucker. Yeah. We have seemingly Mandarin on top here, I believe. We have a number of I think we have Rhodey on the corner here. The corner here. I'm trying to think who all the other people are. I think we have like Fang Foom here, right there. All right. Very dark though, so well, it is what it is. All right, we have Iron Man number 281, The Deadly Masters of Silence. We have some guys facing off against Iron Man in their samurai-like getup. Just the weirdest cover, but I don't know what I was thinking. We have an Iron Man number 1 from 96. And this is such a weird cover. It looks like we have Iron Man, and in the background we have Hulk. And this costume is very interesting looking. But I guess this one was just like, oh, this is the number 1, and I didn't think anything beyond that. But also I saw that Hulk and Iron Man were together, so that's why I grabbed it. Okay, so we have now the Invincible Iron Man number 2 from 96. And again, Iron Man and Hulk. So, I must have had a pattern going there. And I don't know why it said Iron Man on the other one, and it says Invincible Iron Man here. Anyways. Invincible Iron Man number 5. I guess I was just adamant about collecting more of these. I need to collect more, regardless of how they look. The Invincible Iron Man number 9. Brothers in Armor. Yeah, I was suckered into all these. All right, now we have a Marvel Now Iron Man number 1. I read this and I actually thought that it was really interesting. Like, we have Iron Man who goes on to face off against all these guys, and like it's like, okay, like, so it's kind of like a chess game, and it's really interesting. I guess I'd gotten a double one where I got a blank variant. I didn't I didn't go out of my way to just specifically get this just for this blank thing. I just got it. So, uh, I got a twofer, everybody. I got a twofer. I got a blank one, and I got a. So, lucky me. So. We have Iron Man #2 from Marvel now. Yeah, so I did get more than just. Because I remember when Marvel Now happened, and I thought I just got Superior Spider-Man, and I think that I just got uh Deadpool, but I think I actually did pick up some Iron Man too. So oh yeah, and Hulk and Thor. So and then Iron Man was I think some early issues also. But I didn't but the more uh ones that I collected were definitely the Deadpool and definitely the Superior Spider-Man ones because I gravitated to those. All right, so we have an Iron Man #23, and this is to be, of course, a Deadpool variant. This thing looked hilarious, so I'm like, oh, this is the goofiest thing that they could have put on there. And also, it reminded me of the Green Lantern ring thing, so I had to get this. If you guys do not know, because you might be just Marvel fans, there's a Green Lantern cover where he's holding a bunch of Green Lantern rings in his hand, and it's the issues where Iron Man goes on and basically tries to murder all these Green Lanterns, tries to get all these rings so he can resurrect his coast city, and eventually turns into Parallax. All right. Now we have Iron Man Armored Wars #1 of 4. Again, I just like covers where they just have a lot of suits in the background. Plus, I also wanted to collect Armor Wars because I knew that this could be an important issue somewhere down the road. Also, I collected this shorter book of Iron Man Armored Wars, so I tried to get everything I could on this just to because I knew it was going to be important, or I knew they were going to use it somewhere down the road. So we have Iron Man, I Am Iron Man. This is to be issue #1 of 2. This is based on the hit movie. Yeah, I like to just get things that are just, again, just off of films. Like I have the Batman '89 comic book, the Batman Returns one. I have like Ghostbuster comic books that are based on them, all kinds of things. I know that those are all just kind of cheap things to have gotten, but I just got this and was like, oh, okay, all right. I think the story for these were very just cheap and they were kind of a little bit more from the movie. This is the same title, but this is the 2 of 2. So I got both of them. Even the cover was fairly cheap about what they actually did in there also. But again, they knew what they were trying to do here. Because of course I went on and got Iron Man 2 Marvel Studios Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. issue 1. Yeah. God. Man, I feel like these definitely tell how just so easily was I to just get whatever. But if anything, I'm sure people could probably go through any number of these things and just say the same thing. And that's okay. So we have an Iron Man Legacy. This is to be in a variant edition, and I got this obviously because it looked like the Invincible Iron Man #1 cover, so it homaged that. So that's why I got this specifically, because I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna get this because it looked just like Invincible Iron Man #1. That of course I'd gone on to get the I think the volume book of that, of the early Iron Mans. So we have Iron Man Legacy. This is to be a Marvel variant edition, and this has all the. I think this one is a wraparound, where if you open it up, you see all the suits from the films. So that's of course why I got this one, because of just how interesting it was. Iron Man Legacy #2. So just more stuff that looks like the film. Iron Man Legacy #3. This looked just really interesting. So it looks like Iron Man is just facing off against all of his other Iron Man suits. Iron Man Requiem. This is to be issue #1. So this kind of feels like a re-origin of the character, and so that's, again, my interest of just kind of collecting these interesting stories. Okay. Now we have a free comic book day, Iron Man Nova issue here. So I was like, ooh, I like Nova, and I'm interested in Iron Man, so 2 birds, 1 stone. Iron Man 2.0, this is #1. Alright. This is to be Superior Iron Man #1. This is to be a variant edition. Crude in the bottle! So of course I got this, because it's ripping off of Demon in the Bottle, so I thought that was funny. So I had to get it. Now we have Ultimate Iron Man #1. Kind of a really cool looking cover, honestly. Now we have Ultimate Iron Man #2. Just to get some of these early ones. I think this was one of those where I found, like, just a collection of all these at a half-price book thing, so I nabbed it up because I knew how interesting Ultimates were, and, like, these were pretty early issues of this character, so I was like, okay, like, I'll collect these as best as best as it has, like I was gonna get all of them. Ultimate Iron Man issue #5. So we go from the earlies to now just this one, like whatever they had. This is Ultimate Iron Man 2 issue #2. I liked this cover because we have just 2 Iron Man suits. I think this is where Iron Man, I think, faces off against Jensen, or the guy that was to have been with him in the cave, and then he comes back as a bad guy. And I think I did see... oh, yeah. Speaking of Jack of Hearts, so I just mentioned, it's like, yeah, I don't know if I have the very first issue of Jack of Hearts. Coincidentally, Yeah, so I do, yeah. So, because I just talked about Jack of Hearts, and so yeah, so I am a fan of this character, so I did really like him, and I thought his books were interesting. So yeah, so like I wasn't just saying. So yeah, now we're I guess definitely out of Iron Man at this point now. Uh, yeah, we're definitely out. So all new Iron Man. This is Iron Fist, the Living Weapon #1. I think that I heard that this story was actually good, so I just checked this out. Plus, I think this is probably right around the time where Iron Fist was a thing, so I started to collect some Iron Fist stuff. But I knew to only really just collect Heroes for Hire was more of my focus. So we have a Marvel Spotlight. This is Heroes Reborn, the Onslaught Reborn, whatever this is. Whatever this book is, I have no idea. Like I guess I was just so fascinated by this split thing, and I'm like, okay, what is? We have Fantastic Four, and what is this? We have a Ultimate Marvel team up. This is to be Spider-Man and X-Men issue #11. I think this specifically is the one that I talked about in a other prior comic book collection thing. I think this is where Spider-Man goes with the X-Men to the Savage Land. I think this is where I did read this, I believe. I absolutely loved this issue. If this is the one that I'm thinking of. Um, yeah, this book was just probably very simple, but very effective. And I think this is right around the time where Peter was with Katie Pryde. Uh, and I think after reading that, that's what started to get me into just a lot more Marvel team up stuff. Because yeah, I loved that issue. So this is to be king size annual #1 of Marvel team ups. We have Spider-Man and X-Men. This cover just looked absolutely cool to me. We have united in battle against the awesome creation of the Lords of Light and Darkness. Okay. Double the action, double the thrills. Just a very goofy looking monster. So, so I was completely smitten by that. Marvel the Hulk MTU. It says team up on the bottom. This is issue #4. So the reason I think I had gotten this is because I had just seen an animated movie where they had Marvel and Hulk together. So I was like, so is there a comic book that did the same thing? And so that's why I got this. I think is what I try to do, and that's probably why I got all the other uh, Iron Mans with Hulk in it, because I remember now to have seen that animated movie and actually did like it. I did find it to kind of be visually cheap if you kind of look back at it now. It's like, but I liked it. I thought it was entertaining enough. We have Marvel Tales featuring Spider-Man. This is issue #234. And then the X-Men, guest starring Morbius the Living Vampire. So immediately when you tell me Morbius the Living Vampire is in a comic book, I'm like, yeah, I'm checking this out. I know this is very dark, you can't really see much, but I'm trying to figure out the best way to kind of tilt this so you can see a lot more. So my apologies if The lighting isn't the best for all of these. Uh, I'm just trying to figure out the best way to showcase these, but anyways. We have a Marvel Tales featuring Spider-Man. This is 236. And this has featuring Spider-Man and X-Men. The thrill-packed conclusion to the Lords of Light and Darkness. Okay, so they went back to that same well. I think that this book is to also probably be one of the very first early books that I had on me from memory. When I was a kid, before I even just started really collecting books, I think this was one of the earliest books that my mom and dad they just had just stored away somewhere, and then I didn't really get into comic books until much later. So I just had this stuff just stored away for a rainy day. So we have a Marvel Tales featuring Spider-Man, the origins of the Wood God. Yeah. The Bug and the Brute. So obviously I got this because of Spider-Man and Hulk. Like I just want an issue with Hulk and Spook, because I think that these characters kind of they clash, and I thought it was interesting. I want to say that also, and I'm not sure if it's this one, but there is one comic book that I had where eventually the later and later I started to read the book, the more that they didn't bother to completely color the book. That eventually all of the color left the book, and the more and more white it got. And it's really just because of how just cheap they got, or just how much they just didn't care. So they just put out a book that just didn't have any white in it at some point, and it's like, oh, so you didn't finish the book. So I don't know if it was exactly this one, but I knew of a comic book that was like that. We have another Marvel Team Up, issue 110. This is Spider-Man and Iron Man. So I obviously got it because of Spider-Man and Iron Man being some really big characters, I felt. So I had to get this. Introducing the Menace of Magma. So I think I tried to get everything that was Spider-Man and Iron Man together in books, so I think this was that. Alright, we have another Marvel team-up. Spider-Man and the Sandman. As friends or foes, Spidey's gotta find out the hard way. Couldn't they have just gone on and just done this in a normal Spider-Man book instead of just... Really, you had to do a Marvel team-up for this? This makes no sense. Like, this feels just kind of cheap, but whatever. Like, they could have just done this in a Marvel comic book, but they did this here. So, okay, like, I guess they're just really trying to sell you on, like, hey, you guys like that Spider-Man thing? Well, so now we have another Marvel Tales featuring Spider-Man and the X-Men. This is the issue number 237. What's going on? I'll read the bottom text here shortly. I just wanted to show the cover. This honestly to me looked really cool. I was fascinated by Colossus, and so that's why I specifically got this issue. Because it had Nightcrawler, Colossus, and Spider-Man on it. I'm like, okay, like, I'm interested in this. Frankly, we haven't a clue, but we know the unstoppable Juggernaut is up to no good. Oh yeah, so this has Juggernaut in it as well. Plus Spider-Man meets Howard the Duck. How could you not be completely clickbaited into this specific book? Juggernaut, Howard the Duck, and the X-Men with Spider-Man. Like, need I say more? Need I say more? So I know that that Howard the Duck is kind of a joke character, but anyways. Uh, so I had gone on in another Marvel comic of Spider-Man, and I said I always really liked when they would have just Spider-Man just just spitting through the city, crawling on walls, and so, like, but also the reason why I got this issue is because he's crawling on a wall, and it kind of reminded me of the very first Spider-Man movie poster, so that's why I got this. But if anything, his face just looks so strange. I'm trying to, yeah, I'm like, his eyes look way too high. It's so weird. So it says the menace of the mystery guest star. Marvel team up starring Spider-Man and oh no, not you. And this is issue number 5. So it's the mystery team up. So that's why I ended up getting it, because I was a sucker. I was a sucker. So this is Magneto number 1 from Marvel Now. I had heard that this issue was actually really good, and after reading it, definitely agree. Like, I really did like this Magneto, and I thought that he was interesting. Like, they changed his outfit, and like, you didn't know kind of what side he was on, if he was a good guy, if he was a bad guy. Like, he was just kind of doing his own thing. We have March on the Ultimatum. Whatever this is. I have no idea. Yeah, whatever this rhyme or reason of this huge, massive book is, I had gotten this for some goofy reason. I have no idea why. I guess just another impulse buy. I think I saw all the characters on it. I'm like, what is this? So I got it because of just how unique it was. So that was the mistake I made. This is to be a book called The Marvels. I think this says Marvel Book 0. This comic book, The Marvels, was actually so good to read. All these books were really fascinating. I really liked them. I really liked reading all of them. I think there was a Silver Surfer issue that, yeah, was amazing to read. This is to be Marvel's book 1 of 4, and Human Torch is on it. So, yeah, so, like, it wasn't about the covers. No, it was just that the story was really that good. The Marvels, this is book 2 of 4. It has Angel on it, X-Men. On the bottom here, there's some signs that are to really just hate on the Angel, calling him bizarrely devils and Satan's children, even though he has wings. Makes no sense. I guess it's the irony of those signs, I guess, really. Here we go. So this is Marvel's issue 3 of 4. This is the Silver Surfer story. Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. So I would recommend these Marvel books if you can find them. I have no idea what year they came out, but yeah, if it did say some, yeah, but I would definitely recommend people if they can find these to collect them, because I did like this story. Then we have more Marvels, and we have this story here. Loved this cover. Thought it was interesting with the whole eye thing. It reminded me of the big issue that they had with Spider-Man, where he was getting killed off, Peter Parker was, and they kind of body swapped with Dr. Octopus, so this is the reason why I got this also. And it kind of reminded me of when Green Goblin had killed Gwen Stacy, so yeah, so I had to get this. We then go into Marvel Age, War Machine, also the X Wedding, Daredevil, After the Fall. So I'm not seeing a number here, but so I grabbed that also. We have the Marvel Universe versus the Avengers. This is a limited series, 1 of 4. This stuff was actually so interesting. You can probably not make it out here, but like if anything, that it almost looked like they're just kind of zombified. But yeah, these books were actually so interesting to read, and I did really enjoy them. Or I did, like, at least for however long I was to look into them and find them. Because yeah, like I'll go on like, yeah, this is so interesting to read, and then I maybe just collect one of them. But if anything, this issue was really good. I really did like it. I did really like the issues where they would have like a zombie apocalypse go on, and I think specifically in this issue, like I think Hawkeye was the last to survive this, and this is 2 of 4. Yeah, I really just kind of like the Marvel zombie stuff. I really liked those. Especially when they had Machine Man and Joe Costa. I really liked those stories. A lot of the early just Marvel zombie stuff was so fascinating to look into. And like the Machine Man and Joe Costa Marvel thing, like that made me a fan absolutely of Machine Man, and I liked him even though he was a very obscure character that no one gave a crap about. I really did like him, and I thought that the way that just story played out was interesting. So in another comic book video, I had mentioned about Morbius and how I was actually a fan of him. And so yeah, so this is to be Rise of the Midnight Suns. This is to be Morbius. This is issue number 1. I'm not quite sure why there's seemingly so much. I don't know if this is on the book or just on this plastic, but there's just some weird marker all over it, and I don't know why. I'm hoping that's actually just on the plastic. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to take it out either. Let me pause. Well, yeah, let me pause here to just check if it's actually on the book or if it's on the plastics. Let me pause. Alright, what I actually noticed as I open this up is this actually has not only this plastic here, but then when I opened it up, there's also another plastic bag on this. And when I was to kind of move the plastic bag just has this weird, goofy, black kind of mark of things on it, and I don't know why. It must have just been a weird design that they just did that. I don't know. Like, but if anything, like it looks that the comic book isn't to, because you can see kind of like the black weird, like I guess it's just done that way, because this is like a special sealing of this book. So that's kind of a relief. I was like, oh, is that just done on the book? No, it's not. So we have Morbius the Living Vampire versus Spider-Man. This is issue number 3. So, yeah, I had to get this because of that. So, we then have Morbius number 1, The Living Vampire from Marvel Now. So, yeah, so I was actually interested in these books, and I think I got more than one of these, I hope. Because I liked the covers. I thought the covers were really the covers were really interesting. This is Morbius the Living Vampire. This is issue number 2. And this, like, I collected these books, of course, well before the movie was even a thing. So, regardless of how people think about Morbius now and the more the weird Morbin time or whatever, the whole memes of that. Morbius the Living Vampire. This is issue number 6. This very much reminded me of the Spider-Man Tobey Maguire movie poster, so I had to get this also. And it was kind of interesting to kind of see them kind of both doing this crawling pose. So I was like, heck yeah, this looks so cool. And I actually did like this story, weirdly enough. Mighty Marvel Must Have. This is collection of Amazing Spider-Man number 36, Incredible Hulk number 34, Daredevil number 26, and X-Men Evolution number 1. And it says a 2 on the bottom. So, weirdly, this comic book cover is just black, but it says Mighty Marvel Must Haves. So, I must have had to think that I needed to have this, and I'm like, oh yeah, like, this is kind of interesting. Because I think I went through a Google search, and I was like, okay, like, how can I figure out how to get the most, like, key issues or find the most important kind of Marvel things. And so this is very severely early in my searching of comic books for Marvel, and then I stumbled upon this thing. I'm like, well, clearly I need to get this. Because it says Marvel Must Have, so I was like, okay, so I needed to check into this and read these books and to kind of see if they were interesting enough for me to must have it. And I think I kind of used that cover as kind of a cheat sheet, like, okay, maybe these are the characters to get. So we have Namor, the First Mutant. This is issue number 1. This is from The Curse of the Mutants. So, this book, if you see on the very top there by the word Namor, does have a signature on it, as if that kind of means anything. And it has a certificate of authenticity. So, woohoo, it's a book that's signed, a Namor book. What value does that have? Don't think it has much, if any, but hey, like, I thought the book was interesting. I thought, yeah, to finally say that Namor was a mutant, I just liked that idea. So now we have another Rise of the Midnight Suns. This is to, of course, be Night Stalkers number 1. This is to be 5 of 6. So I got this because I wanted to collect something of the Night Stalkers, because, of course, I had seen Blade Trinity, and I wanted to know more about the Night Stalkers. I know that Blade Trinity is a movie that people are just like, oh, that goofy, whatever. Like, I was fascinated by characters like Hannibal King, and I was fascinated by the idea of the Night Stalkers. So yeah, I got this book, like regardless of what the movie ended up coming out of it. I was just like, okay, let's find out more about the Night Stalkers. So, plus I was easily won over by supernatural characters, so that's just me. Anyways, we have The Man Called Nova, issue number 6. So we're getting to Nova territory. Plus, who is the dreaded one? The Condor Diamond Head powerhouse. If one doesn't get me, the other will. Is there any other dialogue that I have to read here? Alright, no, I'm good. We have A Man Called Nova, issue number 15. So I obviously got this because actually, like, this cover looked amazing. Let's get some more light on it. They're in a baseball field, and Nova is being attacked by Spider-Man, Captain America, the Hulk. So I really had to go on and want to collect this issue because of just how I'm trying to figure out the best way to. Yeah. And I actually did read The Man Called Nova, and the books were interesting to me. I did enjoy those pieces. We have the origins of Richard Rider Nova. This is to be a one-shot. I liked this because the cover here was just so interesting. Plus, also to give me an origins of Richard Rider, I was like, okay, yeah, I want to find out more about this character because I was just so interested in Nova. This is even before the Guardians of the Galaxy was even a thing, and then when they were talking about the Nova Corps, I'm like, all right, like, so I've read so many of the Nova books, and so like when they were doing Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm like, cool, they're doing Nova now, but then they didn't actually do Nova, they just did the Nova Corps, and then they never did anything with that. Besides, okay, here's the Nova Corps, we're just gonna eventually get rid of the Nova Corps, and they're gonna be pointless. It's like, oh, what? So I was just kind of disappointed in that aspect of the movie. All right. So I'm gonna pull out the rest of the issues that are just kind of in here. So because there's so very few left. So we have Nova, the Human Rocket. This is guest starring Captain America. This is issue number 2. As you can see, Captain America is on the bottom there. The dialogue on the bottom says head to head against Diamond Head. Diamond Head actually looked really cool to me. He did. So I don't know, I just like that character. We have The Amazing Spider-Man and Nova. This is to be... it says on the top here, the issue, join us in welcoming Amazing Spider-Man, Nova, and Nova is telling Spider-Man, fine, now get out. I'm not seeing a number anywhere here, like... I know there's a little bit of dialogue here, but there's not a number, so I have no idea what this is. The art is interestingly enough, though. Alright. Then we have Nova, number 21. and I have 2 copies of it. Kind of just the costume sitting on a chair, very simplistic. I don't know why I gravitated to that. We have Nova number 24, All Hail the Imperial Guard. I know this character in the cover here has a very specific name, but I don't quite remember exactly what it is. But I think I had seen him in a video game or something somewhere, and I think I purposely went on to get a comic book that had him in it, just so that way I can understand more about this character. Because I just randomly found him through a game somewhere. I was like, okay, I need to know more about this guy, so that's why I got that. Then we have the so when Marvel Now happened, so I just kind of mentioned the most ones that I collected, obviously. Then I said Iron Man, I said other characters, and I also forgot about Nova. Nova, I think I tried to collect a load of books of. So this is Nova number 1 for Marvel Now. This was such an interesting story at a point. Because, like, it was kind of like Miles Morales to me. Like, it took a long time to get going, I felt. And then the villains were, I feel, so random that I'm like, should I know who these people are? This is to be Nova number 2. So this Nova wanted to go on and figure out what had happened with his father. And eventually this also leads him to meet up with Gamora and Rocket. And just the story to me, I think, was just kind of interesting enough for what it was. So we have Nova number 3 here. This green character here is to be Gamora, and of course we have Rocket on the bottom there. So then we have Nova number 4. This had the T'Chari, the T'Chali, the armored guys, or the bad guys who were in Nova's army in the very first Avengers movie. I can't quite remember exactly I can't quite pronounce their names. But yeah, the T'Chari, the T'Chali, yeah. These guys were in this cover, so immediately I had to get this here. We have Nova issue number 5. A little bit of a hologram thing here. Nova issue number 6. It's kind of cool how they broke the logo there with him flying in. I thought that was cool. Okay, now let me pause here for a second so I can adjust this box. Alright, so I'm wrapping up this box with none other than just a couple issues. And it's to actually be of Penance. And this is be from the pages of Civil War. So, yeah, so I did like this character. I think I did, I think I did go on and see Penance in a video game somewhere. And so that's why I was like, who is this Penance guy? He kind of looks like a Daredevil. He kind of looks like a really interesting character. So eventually I tracked him down and eventually tried to find stories of him. And honestly, like, he's just a really fascinating character. I just really honestly liked him. So this is Penance Relentless. And so yeah, like 1 out of 5, and this is to be 2 of 5. So surprisingly, I liked Penance. Yeah. This is to be Penance Relentless, 3 of 5. Penance faces off against Wolverine in this issue. Penance Relentless, 4 of 5. He faces off against Doctor Doom. Penance Relentless, number 5 of 5. And we have this kind of big head cover here. There are 2 characters in the very bottom here, and I can't see at all who they really are. Like, I can't really tell who they really are. Cause it's so small. Like I would need like like one of those magnifying glasses, but still, like I probably wouldn't be able to figure it out. Yeah. What a kind of horrible design for a comic book cover. You have this massive head, but then you have these 2 characters down here that are so hard to see that like you'd have to just be like what yeah, there's no way to figure that out. So yeah, so that does wrap up this specific this comic book box here. So I'm gonna go on and stop this video here so I can go on and make thumbnails and eventually maybe do maybe one more video. I was tempted to go on and do another physical media video, but I'm not sure. Maybe I'll just go on and I'll grab another one of these comic book boxes and maybe do another one of those. I'm not quite sure. I don't know. I just kind of want to keep trying to do just a lot of these videos that are honestly very simple and easy to do. So luckily for me that I have this stuff to be able to like, okay, like I don't have to do like reviews every single day, or I can change it up and just do something different and fun. And also like earlier today, like I just did almost like 3 hours me talking about a Star Trek movie. So like eventually the more and more that I have to talk in a video, the more I just get severely exhausted. Um just because it's just a lot. So that's probably why I just kind of went very much more simple and easy going in this video. So hopefully people are gonna like this one, or feel physically, or really I'll just say it's like, well, there's just gonna be at some points where some of these may not be as interesting because of like, are people really gonna be interested in Iron Man stuff, or are people gonna really be interested in Penance and Nova and some Marvel team up stuff? I don't know. But if anything, I also am gonna go on and soon do a little bit more. There's a little bit more in another box of Spider-Man stuff, and there's What If stuff. There's Wolverine stuff. There's X-Men stuff. For you Marvel fans out there, there's still quite a bit of Marvel stuff I have to siphon through. There's, I think, another long box that eventually I will siphon through that I think has a lot of Marvel still. I do have quite a bit of DC comic books still to go through within one box, so eventually I will grab that and I will do that. So for those of you that are waiting around of like, well, hey, when is he going to do more DC stuff? That thing will be a thing to do. I still have one box left of DC stuff. There is also to be some certain like things and box like things that I have that is to be of a random bit of stuff. So eventually I will go on and I will do that at some point. So that way I'll just cover the random stuff instead of just purely just like, oh, this is one brand of this is one brand of that. So that's it. Again, I'm gonna get out of here so I can thumb through these comic books again and make a thumbnail and then figure out what I'm gonna do for how I'm going to look in the video. So I'm gonna get out of here. Goodbye, everybody. Bye, everybody.